Direct hit by the Russian missile. There's no mistake, no error. Russia systematically trying to wipe out us from existence. They already forced millions of Ukrainians to flee Ukraine to their other countries, who were welcome Ukrainians as refugees, but many will go back. And we need to make sure that we are ready to go back. We need to make sure that we are ready to go back.
Все, але
spreading further down, to contain terrorism and put them back, and whatever they do in Russia, but most importantly, to tell the world, to bang into every door to say that Russia is not the country to sit down and talk, because every talk with Russia will just cause more death. Every talk with Russia is just another day they buy to regroup, to buy more weapons, to produce more weapons, and to strike more. Ukraine has suffered a lot. Ukrainian children, civilians have suffered a lot. All in hands of the Russian regime. All in hands of the Putin Kremlin regime in Russia. We have to put stop. We have to stay united as today. To stay united and tell the world to be united on Ukraine. To tell the world in every level of the world institution to be united with Ukraine. To allow Ukraine to fight back. To allow Ukraine to hit the Russia back. To protect Ukrainian skies. 100%, 110%, not to send Ukraine with one air defense, two air defense, three air defense system, but to feed up Ukraine with air defense system, so Russia even stop thinking about attacking Ukraine. We need strong air defense, we need a shield if required by the entire NATO, by the entire European Union, because we had lost already too many children. Too many people, too many civilians. We need a strong air defense for Ukraine. We need a powerful air defense to Ukraine to stop more killings, to stop more murderers, to stop more missiles and rockets over Ukraine. If that means to lift up the NATO planes, if that means to put a shield over Ukraine, so be it. But we need a strong air defense. Air defense for Ukraine! 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 Thank you, my friends. I'm gonna pass on to Roman, who among our volunteers has been here, and he will have a lot to say as well. Thank you.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава нації!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Thank you everyone for coming this evening. It's a warm summer's night where we could be somewhere else, we could be doing other things, but we've all chosen to come here. And we've all chosen to come here especially because of the appalling things that have happened this week and on Monday. And what we can see here through these different banners that people are carrying is almost like a history of this war, a history of the things that have happened over the past 2.5 years, and a history that notes the people who suffered most are Ukrainian children. And that happened from day one of Russian soldiers kidnapping our children, taking them away who knows where to who knows what kind of parents. Day after day, bombing cities, apartment blocks, schools, children dying. And now this week, this act, I think that he's described it as crossing every single a place where children who are unwell, shorter lives, whose parents are children, that it just becomes like a numbers game. And people don't realise it's not 10, it's not 20, it's not 100, it's 600, it's real people. So I'd like to see that poster up higher. This is Maxim. Can you hold that up so we can see it, please? Turn around and see that. There is a face, there is a real person, there is a real child. And people say, why are children so important? Because when a child's life is lost, it's not one life. They say it's 1,000 lives. Happiness it will bring. Destroyed by Russia, a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
And there's something just so wrong about the war affecting the people it should affect least, our children. People who should grow up in innocence, have a life to enjoy, something that they can bring, add to society, add to their families, add to everyone. Destroyed by Russia. And Russia will not stop and keeps doing it. So we need to raise our voice, we need to be clear and send the message out, especially about our children. Hey, Putin, leave our kids alone. 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 Thank you. And what is happening in the world in response to this? So Ukraine has appealed to the UN Security Council. Who chairs the UN Security Council? Russia. It's a disgrace. A country that has launched an unprovoked war, a country that has been killing civilians day after day, a country that has destroyed our schools, hospitals, infrastructure, is in charge of people hearing the case of whether a complaint is just. It's a farce. How can Russia be chairing the Security Council? How can Russia even be in the United Nations? That shouldn't be allowed. And this poster is true. Kick Russia out of the UN. Kick Russia out of the UN.
Kick Russia out of the UN.
Kick Russia out of the UN.
Kick Russia out of the UN.
Kick Russia out of the UN.
Kick Russia out from the UN.
Thank you. And what is happening outside of this? So that he's talked about air defense. So we know that Russia is trying to hone its tactics, find different ways of killing people, find different ways of destroying Ukraine, because let's be honest, this war is about one thing. It's about destroying Ukraine. It's about Russia trying to wipe Ukraine off the map. That is its aim. That is its intention. When Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons in 1994, under the Budapest Memorandum, the world powers promised to protect and defend Ukraine, to defend Ukraine's territorial integrity, to keep our people safe. Clearly, Ukraine is not safe, and our children are not safe. So one of the important things at the moment that must happen, not being mealy-mouthed and sending one more air defence system, but to send everything that they can to make sure that our children, our hospitals, our schools and our people are protected. Not just months in the future, but now. Air defence, send it now! Air defence, send it now!
Air defense, send it now!
Air defence, send it now!
Air defense, send it now!
Air defence, send it now!
Air defense, send it now!
Another thing that people are saying as well, this is just another reason to negotiate with Russia. It just bothers me, and this is another one.